Welcome to Cake's Glorious Bakes. Today we're going to be making some creamy sweet caramel sauce. So if you've never made caramel sauce, I just want to say this is not hard to do. You do need to watch with your timing, but it's very easy and I'm going to show you step by step. Caramel sauce, poured over some ice cream, dip in your chocolate bicky, do whatever you want. Okay guys, so to make our caramel or caramel sauce, we have 250 grams of caster sugar, we have 148 mils of double cream, and we have 50 grams of butter, a nice saucepan for melting, and we're just going to have some water added to our sugar in our saucepan, and that is basically it. So this is very simple to do, but it does need to be kept an eye on once it's on the stove and it's all melting. So our first step is to tip our sugar into our heavy base pan or frying pan or saucepan, wherever you want to use, like that. Then we need to stir in to the sugar 4 tablespoons of water. So I'm just going to get my water. We're just going to have 4 tablespoons into the sugar. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Pop that aside. So our sugar and water mixture now is going to go on to medium heat until the sugar is dissolved. Then we're going to turn up the heat for it to start to bubble for 4 to 5 minutes until we have a caramel. So let's go and do this. Oops. So while our sugar and water is on the stove, we're just going to measure 50 grams of butter. You can measure it in your weighing scales or you can do it by the block. So we open up, fold the paper back over, and where our lines are, in 25 grams, we can cut 50 grams, and then if you're not sure you can measure it in your weighing scales. So I will do both just to show you. So 25 grams and 25 grams, 50 grams, mark it there, get it down, and we have 50 grams. Okay, pop this aside. So when our sugar caramel is ready, we're then going to add our cream and our butter, but that's not quite ready yet. So as you can see, the sugar and water mixture is just starting to dissolve. We're going to keep this here until all the sugar is dissolved, and then once it starts to bubble, we're going to let it bubble for 4 to 5 minutes. So we're nearly there. Just a little bit more to melt. Nearly done. Okay, so it's starting to bubble quite nicely. And we're going to let it bubble for 4 to 5 minutes. I'm going to put my timer on. Now if you can see what's happening is the bubbles are starting to go clear. It's just starting to change colour to caramel. Remember not to touch this mixture because it will burn your skin off. The mixture is now starting to change colour. Okay, so we're back over here. So if you look now, you'll see the colour of our sugar and water is completely changed, and we've got a lovely golden colour in our pan. So now the next step is, and I will say that this mixture is absolutely boiling, so do not put your fingers in and do not taste at this point, because this will burn your skin off and we don't want that. Okay, so our next step is to add our cream and our butter into this sugar mixture. We're going to do this slowly, and then we're going to allow it to cool completely before we tip into a sterilised jar or a squeezy bottle or whatever you want to put yours into. So guys, let's make our caramel sauce. Okay, so we've got our cream and our butter. I just need to get my silicone stirrer. This smells really nice. It smells like, you know, when you have toffee apples when you go to the fair. This is just what it smells like, toffee apples. Okay, so we pop in our butter, and you'll start to hear it bubble. And we'll pop in our cream. So be very careful guys, because as I said, this is piping hot. And you have to do this when you take it off the heat. So the butter goes in and the cream goes in when it comes off the heat. I've got a heat-proof pad underneath my pan, and we just keep stirring until we have a nice caramel sauce. As this cools down, it will get thicker and thicker. I'm actually going to use mine to go inside a cake. And then the rest will go into the fridge when it's nice and cool. And then I'll use it for some more cakes. So be very careful when you're stirring, because you don't want anything to spit or to spill on your skin. So I think we're about done there. And remember not to taste at this point, because it is still very, very, very hot. Okay. So let's just make sure we've got all of our cream in here, like that. And that's basically it guys. If you've done this, you've made a caramel sauce, and you just need for it to cool right down before you can use it for whatever you want to use it for. Look at that. Nothing like a homemade caramel sauce. Okay, so my caramel has cooled right down and I've transferred it to a bowl. And as you can see, as it cools, it thickens up. So it's nice and thick. Nice caramel colour. Nice consistency. A lovely shine. It just coats the back of your spoon. So guys, that's how we make a caramel sauce. Put it over your ice cream. Drizzle it on your chocolate bicky. Do whatever you want with it. Yum, yum, yum. Well guys, it's that time again. It is tasting time. I've got myself a chocolate button, Cadbury's chocolate button, and I'm just going to have a little dip in the caramel sauce, and I think then I'm going to have like a caramel chocolate button, maybe. I'm just going to do this once because I don't have a huge sweet tooth and I think this is going to be quite sweet. So here goes. Chocolate button, caramel sauce. That is like eating a nicer version of Cadbury's caramel. I can't go again though.